Hey everyone, it's Miss C. This brief navigation video is to introduce you to me, show you some of my expectations for the online course, take a look at some of the key features in Brightspace, and give you a sneak peek of Launchpad. So let's go ahead and get started. Online classes are not for everyone. To take an online class, you need to be very self-disciplined and self-motivated. You have to stay on top of due dates yourself, ask questions, and reach out for help when you need it. It really takes a lot of motivation, and you have to be an independent learner. Having said that, though, you are not alone in this course. The very best way to reach me is through Pellissippi webmail. I cannot respond to personal email addresses, so please don't use those. The college does not permit me to communicate through personal email addresses for your own security. I want to know the very first time you don't understand something. So the very first time that you recognize you're struggling or need help, let me know so that we can address those issues early. If you have any tech issues during the semester, I've created what I call a tech cheat sheet, posted that in Brightspace content, and it has information for both tech support for Brightspace and for Launchpad. Please, please, please always let me know if you have questions or need help in this class. You are not a bother to me. Just reach out to me through Pellissippi webmail. You will also see a lot of me this semester, even though this is an online class. I'll be doing weekly video check-ins with you, and during those video check-ins, I will comment on your most recent assignments, give you feedback, and address any questions that the class may have. Your lifelines to the class are the documents that you see listed on screen. I recommend getting very familiar with these documents. Read them carefully. It's very, very important that you read every word of these documents. That will let you know exactly what my expectations are, what the guidelines are for your assignments, important due dates. Everything you need to know about assignments and due dates is found within these documents. Take them seriously and keep them handy for your reference. Due dates. All right, we said this is not a self-paced class. You can't just do things as you want to do. Keep in mind that all due dates are 11:59 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Make sure that you're keeping up with that schedule of instruction. I recommend syncing it with any planner that you might have. And I also recommend downloading the Brightspace Pulse app. It's a good way to stay on top of things and get notifications about grades. Plan ahead. Don't wait until the last minute to start assignments. I'm not sympathetic to that. And definitely, if you want to work early, you can. Due dates are there because that's the final day that you can work on it. If you want to submit something early, that's perfectly fine. I love early work. People ask often, are there study guides in this online class? Yes, I have built-in study guides to this course. They are called Student Learning Outcomes. These student learning outcomes are posted by chapter in Brightspace content, and they outline important concepts that you need to be familiar with as a lifespan student at Pellissippi State Community College. So use those to your advantage for both Brightspace exams and Launchpad quizzes. Is there extra credit? Yes, you actually have two different opportunities. The first one you have will have to be completed very soon, so check your schedule of instruction. It's a getting started checklist. There are 4 items on that checklist that you literally check off in Brightspace, and they get you oriented to this course. Now those bonus points go towards your total final points at the end of the semester, so you won't see those for a while. You also have the opportunity to get into our discussion thread. Scroll down to the very bottom, and you will see Harry Potter themed extra credit discussion posts. The bonus points for those discussion posts go toward Brightspace exams, so you get a chance to boost your Brightspace exam scores. If you can't find these, please let me know and I'll be glad to point them out to you. The best web browser to use for this class is Chrome. So if you're a Mac user, you need to download and use Chrome. That is the recommended browser for this class. So if you encounter any tech issues, that's the first question tech support and myself are going to ask you is what browser are you using? I do not recommend using your phone for completing assignments, especially exams in this class. Phones are unreliable for completing your work in this class. Use a laptop or PC. If you're using a laptop, make sure it's fully charged and plugged in. Now, if you have kind of wonky internet, it's not steady, I would recommend coming to campus and using one of our open computer labs to take your Brightspace exams. Don't chance running out of internet or not having steady internet access while you're trying to test. You don't have to have a proctor, just an open computer lab, but you want to make sure that you're prepared to sit down and take your exam. So if you're a Mac user, you have 3 assignments that are due this semester that require you to submit a Word document. You can have that downloaded to up to 5 devices for free as a Pellissippi student. If you visit any of Pellissippi's open computer labs, they can help you download the Microsoft Office package, and you can then transfer that to 5 different products for free while you're a Pellissippi student. The one thing you need to remember about this class, other than keeping up with your schedule of instruction, is that you must actively participate. It's a good idea to log in every single day. If you stop completing assignments, I will mark you as stopped attending, and that can affect your ability to receive financial aid. Stay plugged in, stay active, and log in daily. We're now going to switch over to another screen and take a look at both Brightspace and Launchpad. So I'm going to exit here, and I've opened up one of my online courses and I've logged in as a student. I just want to show you a few things that you want to see as a student. Always keep an eye on your announcements. This is kind of like a chat room for me to communicate with the whole class at one time. Anything you need to know that's coming up, or if I change anything or I just need to communicate with the whole class, it will be here. Please check this every day. If you look over here, you'll see my bio video. It lets you know a little bit about me, and you can see my face. And if you scroll down, you see a calendar feature here. All of your due dates in that schedule of instruction have been plugged in here. Even though Launchpad is an outside login, a login outside Brightspace, I've gone ahead and shown you the due dates for Launchpad here, so that if you're using the Brightspace Pulse app, you'll get a reminder that you need to also log into Brightspace or log into Launchpad and complete a quiz there. If we're going to look at a few things here, let's start with assignments. Assignments, you have 3 of those. These are all feedback assignments worth 10 points each. And what you'll do is click on the assignment. It's a Word document. You open it, answer questions, and resubmit here. If you've never used Brightspace assignments before, just let me know. I can send you a little bit of information about that, or you can contact tech support for help. The calendar feature can also be found here. If you click on Class List, this shows you who you're in class with, and you can communicate with your classmates within Brightspace. So this is how you can get to know each other. Content is where all the goods are. This is where I have posted everything from your syllabus to your schedule of instruction, everything you need to know. If you click on Overview, you get your registration handout for Launchpad. You'll probably spend the most time here in course materials. This is where you'll find your syllabus, the syllabus acknowledgement page that's part of your Getting Started checklist, your schedule, and here's the actual Getting Started checklist. I even have some information about how to prepare for Brightspace exams. And if you click on here, Launchpad, this is where you'll get your registration handout. I put things in multiple places so you can find it anywhere. Here's your registration handout, instructions, tips for discussion posts, a video on APA style, like how to cite an APA style, and links to our library's databases. Theories of development. Theories are a big part of this class. This is something you'll see in Chapter 1. So if you click here, you'll get all kinds of information about theory, and then we break it down by chapter. And this is where you will find those student learning outcomes is by chapter. If I go over here to discussions, this is a big portion of your grade. The very first one that you'll be completing is actually your expectations post. So if I scroll down to here, your expectations post is the first one due. And I've already posted my own so that you can get to know me. And then this is where you confirm your attendance. You do a confirmation post through a discussion post and include a picture of yourself. As a rule of thumb, all discussion posts must be a minimum of 250 words. And as you can see on these weekly posts, when you look at these posts, all discussion posts are due on Thursday nights. I know that it says here that it's open through Sunday. That's so you can post your responses by Sunday nights. So discussion posts, your initial post is due Thursday night, and then your responses are due by Sunday night. It gives you a few days to think about how you want to respond to people, a few days to digest things, if you will. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, you'll see those Harry Potter themed discussion posts and the corniness therein. All right, so let's go back up here. If you go to grades, that's where you'll find your grades posted in this class. And the last thing I want to show you is quizzes. When I keep talking about these Brightspace exams, this is what I'm talking about. You have a pre-test and a post-test in this class, and you'll find information about that in the announcements section as well as in your syllabus. If you're going to do the Getting Started checklist, this is the 10-question course quiz that's part of that checklist, and this is where you will go to open up Brightspace exams. You can only take these exams one time, so be sure that you're ready to take these. Exam 1 is over chapters 1 and 2, so you should not be taking that during the first week of class. You need to wait until we've studied chapter 2 to open up that test and start. Now I'm going to hop over to Launchpad. Once you open up your course, this is what you'll see. And I'm not going to show you all the features because if you click here, this is a navigation video, 3 minutes, shows you how to navigate your way around Launchpad. It is a separate login outside of Brightspace. So the way that you get to here is by going over here to Brightspace Content. Give it just a second, my internet's a little slow. And if you go to Course Materials, Launchpad, Launchpad Registration Handout, there's a specific link in this handout that you will use to get into what you see here as Launchpad. Once you enter your course, and I'm going to view as a student if I can. Let's see, sometimes, yes, preview as a student. So what you will see once you actually enter the Launchpad course is this. And the only thing you have due within Launchpad, if I expand chapter 1, you have flashcards here and videos to help you, and this is how you read your ebook as well, or you can click on ebook over here. But the only thing you have due for a grade is a quiz for every chapter, and you can start that from here, or you can start it from your calendar. When you see something here, you can start it from here. I'll leave you to the navigation video. It shows you the rest of the features in Launchpad, and I'm just going back to our class here. So I am a real person behind the screen, and I'm here to help you, and I want to make sure that you have a good experience in this course. So please let me know if you have any questions. Don't be a stranger. I'm here for you all semester. I look forward to working with you.